Sure, I can rave and rant all day about what are my favorite games of 2014 and recount some past experiences, but I want to flesh out my documentation of the year of 2014 and ask some of my friends, what were your favorite experiences? Now, because a lot of them really didn't play a lot of the new games that came out this year, I said, whatever you play this year is fine with me. It's just important to remember what you played in 2014 because it doesn't matter what you play, new, old, repeats, the same thing for years and years and years. It just matters what happened. So, that said, let's get through the names here. This first one is from HJ. She says, I bought the Warlords of Draenor expansion to WoW this year. Poundfest is one of the rare mobs in the new expansion pack. He drops a mount. So tons of people were server hopping and camping for a couple days for this guy to spawn. I spent most of 2 days camping him, and then he finally came. And I got that mount. Whoop whoop. Never been a fan too much of WoW, but I understand the appeal of getting something super rare and actually putting the work and time to something. You could apply this to the real world. If you're hunting in the woods, waiting for a deer, literally sitting in a tree for 2 days, and then finally a deer comes, and then catching that deer, it is a nice experience, as so I've heard, but I don't know because I'm not a hunter. Anyway, let's go on. This next one is from BB. This year, I had bought an Xbox 360 and my wife got me a DS Lite for Christmas. In high school, I typically played all my games on PC, but since I got the Xbox, sitting on the couch with a wireless controller and rocking out to a game is just such a nice change from playing on the PC all the time. I really haven't expanded my library yet, but NHL 15 has been amazing so far. The realism and the replayability has been second to none. Hoping to get a lot more games of note next year. Now the NES, keep in mind I've never owned one until just a few days ago, so this type of gameplay is completely new to me. The Legend of Zelda The Phantom Hourglass came with it. The types of interactions you can do in this game is just crazy. The whole game controlled by the stylus, blowing in the mic to blow out a candle, and closing the game to get a copy of a map. This makes the game so immersive. I mean, yelling at the thing so you can get a better price on a ship part. I can't put this game down. I am really looking forward to getting a ton more games for that system. And a bonus, you can bring the damn thing anywhere and play it. Reading this got me so happy. There's quite a few of my friends that play a lot of PC games and kind of strayed away from consoles, or maybe they just never really got into consoles, or, handhelds. So, maybe not so much about the Xbox 360, but hearing other people discover the magic of the DS, especially since it was the 10th anniversary this year, is so cool. And I hope I can work with him more after I get this out and tell him all about the games that he needs to play for certain. Let's move on. Here we got a newbie to the gaming world in general. MS says, Destiny was the biggest plot letdown of all time. It seems PS3 games keep on getting crappier in terms of graphics and glitches because of all the effort are probably going to the PS4 versions. Also, I can't explain to anyone why Minecraft is fun, but I also can't stop playing it. So, yes, of course, Destiny was a super fun game. It was part of my top 10 list, and certainly not because of the plot, but just because of the gameplay. It was a lot of fun to play, but the story was, just kind of drab and just seemed like it was cut out. And, I actually planned to play a lot of PS3 games this year, but then when Destiny came out, I got the PS4, and I haven't gone back. I would like to see what the difference is between the two versions of Destiny for the PS3 and the PS4, along with other games I played for the PS4 this year, too. It's very strange. I don't even understand how Shadow of Mordor can actually work on the PS3 since the Nemesis system has been taken out. It's very weird that these games are coming out on both systems when there are certain mechanics that just don't work, and it'll be interesting to see how long this will, trend to see older versions of things come out with newer versions of things. I mean, Assassin's Creed has stopped this year. This year, Call of Duty came out for everything. Next year, is it going to be exclusive? It's hard to say, but I would imagine that a lot of third-party studios are actually making the older console versions, which is probably why they're not as good as the newer ones. And yeah, they're probably being putting more stuff to the test, and I think that's a big trend of this year. Not just older console games, but just games in general are just broken. And that might be because that, teams are being split and not focusing so much. And maybe teams just aren't used to the new consoles in general. They maybe thought that they got a handle on everything, and then they figured out maybe we don't know what's going on here. And then, of course, to Minecraft, yeah, you can't really explain it, but it's just fun. We got a quick one here from ED. I played a lot of War Commander on Facebook and World of Tanks on Xbox. Those are really the only games I have played this year. I just wanted to give a quick out shout out to him just because he tried to think of some stuff that he played. But a lot of people have turned Facebook to play games. Free-to-play games in general are just very accessible to people that maybe don't have a lot of income. Or they may just kind of click in your brain for that kind of addictiveness that some of these mechanics involve with. I've never heard of War Commander before, but World of Tanks is actually pretty cool. It's set in World War II, I believe, and you just unlock a massive unit of tanks, and it's just basically like a third-person shooter where you're the tank. And you're just rolling around, shooting other tanks, and then you level up and you get new tanks, and it's kind of cool. All right, now we got kind of a long list from SM here. Child of Light. I thoroughly enjoyed this old school romp. It felt like it really excelled with the Vita interface, better than on the console, but I think it was a game that was worth more than it was given credit for. Thomas Was Alone. I thought at first this was the dumbest sounding game ever and would just serve as a good time waster before bed. But a dozen or so levels in, I started feeling a connection to the cast. They may be a bunch of brightly colored blocks, but man, do they have spunk and gusto and complicated backstories. Tales of Hearts R. While R can feel dated and clunky on the Vita, I think it has charms and a je ne sais quoi like many installments in the series before that gets bogged down to the roots of them. Clear differences is the set apart of the weapon system, allocating a lot of bonus points, allowing you to access to new moves, skills, and the evolution of your weapon. Persona Q. The monster designs are solid and the inclusion of Persona feels fresh and, for me, harkens back to the days when I first played the original Persona. Plus, seeing the cast from both Persona 3 and Persona 4 is pretty awesome. Now, I can touch on two of these. One, Child of Light is just a beautiful game, and I do think it was really made for the Vita, just because of how short it is, and because I think the RPG gameplay really suits the Vita rather well, or just any portable system. Thomas Was Alone, I tried, but I didn't really like that much. A very quirky, odd puzzle platformer, but nothing really aesthetically kind of drew me in. Tales of Hearts R and Persona Q are two games that I really, really wanted to get this year, but because of the timing and funds and other things, I was not able to get a hold of them. But next year, I will hopefully be able to touch on them and maybe write something about them. Let alone just being able to play them in general. But of the two, I think Persona Q is definitely something that I look forward to a lot since I finished Persona 4 recently. And I'm looking forward to Persona 5, and yeah. And of course, I just like the Tales games. Last but not least, we have LS. Outlast, heralded as one of the scariest games in a long time, and it also has a surprisingly good story for a first-person horror game with a silent protagonist. It's unsettling, scary, can get your blood pumping and your hands sweating, and had several scenes that legitimately shocked me with their content and how they went. Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2 HD Collection. The game held up surprisingly well, and the added content of the international versions was a great experience. I had a good time spending nearly 200 hours in Final Fantasy X, exploring everything, getting nostalgic, and managing to score a platinum trophy. But please God, don't ever make me race those stupid Chocobo again. The Evil Within. The combat was a pretty good combination of stealthy segments and all action sections designed to drain your resources to nothing, leaving you thinking about how you would tackle the next situation. The partner sections were actually really fun, and I kind of wish you would have more AA partners for more of the game. And I also would like to make an honorable mention to Far Cry 4, but I haven't finished it yet. Honestly, this year, though, was all about Mass Effect. Playing through all three in the span of a few months. What a series. So that's quite an expensive list. 2 horror games, Far Cry 4, honorable mention of course, and then some big RPGs. Now, I cannot imagine playing through Mass Effect all in one go. That's kind of... I'm very jealous about that, because obviously I played Far Cry, or I played Mass Effect 1, or I played Mass Effect 2, I should say, and then 3, and then I've gone back to 1. And it would have been kind of nice to go through all the things at once in one go, not even just like in order, just being able to play it all in one go. It's kind of like the mentality of having a season on Netflix, being able to like watch it all at once. Since that really craze has come around, I kind of stopped watching TV in general because, one, when new series come out, I don't want to have to get into a series and then have it quit, so wasting my time watching something that's not, finished. Also, some of those dramas, like, the plot is really hard to follow if you go week to week. And there's, big gaps between, like, December and, like, February, basically, and you kind of don't really get all, like, the small hints that are in there. But if you, like, kind of watch it very closely from the beginning to the end, it's much more immersive. And you kind of tend to see all the little, like, connections in there that the directors and the writers have comprehended and all that stuff. And being able to do that for Mass Effect would have been pretty cool. Though I do not want to sink 120 hours into that series until there's, like, a mega HD collection or something like that. But I, too, tried Outlast. Really wasn't for me. I played Final Fantasy X a lot. I was looking forward to that quite a bit. It was fun. I haven't finished it yet, but I am very, very far. I would say a good 60 hours, but I am nowhere near 200. And, fuck those chocobos. Final Fantasy X, too, I did like back in the day, but replaying it now, I kind of don't like it. I kind of have the feelings of when people first got it, but I need to tackle some more of that. And the Evil Within made it to my top 10 list, as well as Far Cry 4. So, a pretty good year in general for everybody, it seems. I want to thank all my friends for writing something for me and sharing their experiences. I encourage all of you out there that follow me to maybe share some of your experience as well. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video, or maybe I'll just talk to you in the comments, or whatever. With that said, I'd like to wish everyone a good gaming future for 2015 and close the books on 2014. And, it was a good year for games. That's enough said.
Boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, subscribe, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack, boom, ba-jack, boom, boom, ba-jack.